Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today I will be doing my nails. I've had this set on for about a week and a half, and it's October, like early into October, so I'm excited to do a spooky set, and that's what I have planned for you guys today. I normally do like some crazy nail art heavy sets, but today I think I'm doing something more simple. I want to do this set. It's kind of like white Frenchies with some chrome on them. I seen it and I thought it was really cute, and I know in October I normally change my nails every week, so that's what I plan to do this month. So I'll have a lot of tutorials coming for you guys, so let's get right into the video. Okay, so this is what we're working with. Baby ducks, kind of flared. I intend on keeping the shape. Put on my goggles because charms go flying, and I'm using an old set of nippers and just clipping off those charms. I normally have an issue with keeping charms on when I do my own nails, but I find when I do a full blinged out nail, it's very hard to get the charms off. So for the charms that I just couldn't get off because it was just taking too much time, I just went in with my carbide bit. After I'm done removing the charms, I work on removing the design on the other nails. Now I'm cleaning up the little moon shape ends that I do, the little crescent moons. And then I go ahead closer to the cuticle and remove as much of the bulk as I can. This also helps when I'm shaping and removing any lifting. When I do duckies, I really like to go in with my hand file because I feel like I have more control over the shape and I don't want them to end up too square. For the crescent moon tips, I like to file it. I think this is like a 45-degree angle, but I want to file it in a way that it widens it and doesn't make it as sharp as it is with the carbide bit. Now I'm going in with a fine arbor bit, and I'm just removing any lifting that I see near the cuticles and the side walls, because that's usually where the lifting occurs. Because I've had this set on for a week and a half, there isn't a ton of lifting, but just to be on the safe side, I then go in with my cuticle bit. After I'm done with the cuticle work, I do take a look at the nails, and I'll look and see if there's any little white pieces around where the acrylic and the natural nail meet, and I will go in with a buffer or my cuticle bit and remove that. I like to dust them off and see if there's any lifting that I may have missed or that the dust was covering. These look pretty good, but I do see some in that corner, so I'm going to go ahead with my cuticle bit and gently remove that. Now we're going to begin prep, and I know the last step that I did, which was the cuticle care, that technically is prep, but because I use the cuticle bit to remove lifting, I consider it part of the debulking process. But I'm going ahead and I'm clipping off that excess dead skin that just doesn't look that good, and sometimes if you leave it, it can cause retention issues if the acrylic sits to it. So I just like to clean it so I have a smooth, clean surface. Okay, so now that we are done that, I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush with some 100% acetone, and I'm just wiping and cleaning. This acts as a dehydrator for the nails. I used to use swipe, but recently I switched to acetone. Retention has been crazy, so I actually enjoy it. And then the last step of prep is using some protein bond or primer, whatever you prefer. I just like protein bond. I do 2 coats of this, and then I jump straight into application. So because this is like a mini fill, I don't really need that much time or product when doing the application. There's still an apex, it didn't move too far, so I don't really need to build anything or rebalance the nail. I am just adding to that. So I'm using a smaller bead, placing that right where the grown out nail ends, and then I work it down. And here's an example of how I pick up my bead. I just lightly dip it, and then I place it down, and I kind of let it do its work. I let gravity do its thing, kind of just tap it into place, and then as it dries a bit more, I wipe it down. I check sidewall to sidewall constantly to make sure I'm getting both sides covered and that there's no gaps or bubbles. And just make sure I'm checking from every angle that the structure's there and it looks great. Here's what we're left with after the application. Next, we're going back into shaping. I couldn't find the clip of me using my hand file to shape. I'm not sure if I did with this set. Sometimes I feel I don't need to. If the shape is already pretty ideal to me and there's not much work I need to do, I'll just go in with my carbide bit. Right now, I'm just sealing up the cuticles. I'm gonna run this bit up and down the nail to kind of act as a buffer and smooth out any lumps, bumps, or harsh lines that might be there from sealing the cuticle or application. And I am also going ahead and cleaning up the crescent shape ends. Now I'm trying to make sure that they're all even and they're all around the same length and depth. Some of them can tend to be less deeper than others, and then it just makes your set look off, like the lengths are not even, so you just want to fix that. When you're sealing the cuticle, you want to get as close as you can to where the acrylic and the skin kind of meet, and you want to make sure that you're just removing anything that is too thick and kind of sealing it in to make it look like it's growing out of your nails. It's easy when you're beginning to start around a speed of 5,000 to 10,000 RPMs, but you can increase it as you go. I still like to go kind of slow when I do this step so I can really get in there and I can go over back and forth without like a fear of nicking myself. After I'm done that, I'm going in with my arbor bit again and I'm buffing everything out. I'm trying to remove all that white because that can usually be lifting, and I just want it to blend very well and be very smooth. So now we're on to the design portion and we're gonna wipe again with acetone. Then once that removes all the dust, we're gonna go ahead with a matte top coat as the base. I don't really think you need matte top coat as the base. I know some people just use a regular base coat, but I don't really like the base coat I have. And I find when I use the matte top coat, I don't need to layer my polishes as much. Now we're starting with the first step of the design, which is drawing on the white Frenchies. There's a couple ways you can draw them on. I did like 3 different ways here in the video. This is probably my least favorite way. I don't know why I did it, but this was the first finger I was doing. So I started by just painting on the bottom of the Frenchie, and then after that I just connected it and made the like smile line, I guess. I like to do the smile line first and then color it in. Like I kind of did here, but this way I just kind of free-handed the smile line. I didn't really do the V shape, and then I filled in the top a little bit, and then I went in and used the big brush and filled in the rest of the white over there, and then I obviously cleaned up the little imperfections. I used the same brush I used when I was wiping the nails with acetone. I dipped it in some acetone, then dried it off a little so it wasn't too wet, and then removed all the excess polish that I didn't want. This is my favorite way to do Frenchies. It doesn't work for all nails, but for my middle finger it works very well, and it's essentially you're drawing an A or a V and then you're connecting that. I find this just helps to make it as symmetrical as possible, and also it's a little bit easier when you're coloring it in or filling it in, I guess. Anyways, once we're done with the Frenchies, we are going ahead and we're taking our liquid chrome. I got this one from Amazon. I had a better one, but I dropped it and it made a mess everywhere. So for now, this is what we have to make do with. So we are outlining the Frenchie and then we're going ahead and drawing on the webs. The cobweb design can seem very, very complicated, but when you break it down, it's actually very easy. The first time I did it was about 2 or 3 years ago, and I had no idea what I was doing. But now it's become very simple that this literally took me, I think, like 15 minutes to do all the nails. So you want to start off by mapping out the center. You want to have the little center point, and then you want to draw all the lines as straight as possible. So I did the center line, and then I'm doing a corner line, another line, a halfway point, or not, but now the halfway point. And then for this one, I actually did it properly where I went up, and now you're just adding the mini web lines. You want to do this in an outward motion so it looks more realistic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's fairly easy. It's just incredibly tedious. Just excuse my hair and my big head. I did not realize I was so close to the camera when I was filming. Once you're done the design, you'll want to cure for 60 seconds. I find with liquid chrome that I always struggle to have it cure fully. I don't know if it's my lamp, I don't know if I'm just not reading the instructions properly, but it always ends up smudging when I do the top coat, so make sure you cure it for over 60 seconds. Once it's all cured, go ahead and grab your top coat and top coat all of the nails. I love how smooth this looks, and I really think the matte top coat is the reason it looks so smooth. But all the nails look grown out and they don't look bulky. They look very sleek, so I love it. Once you've applied your top coat, you'll want to cure for 60 to 90 seconds. Now we're doing the 3D spider. When you're using anything gel related, anything nail related, you should definitely use gloves. For some reason, my gel did not want to work when I had gloves on, so I had to do it by hand. But you're gonna go ahead and do the first dot. This is the body of the spider, and then this is the head of the spider. Now I'm going in with some rhinestone gel and I'm drawing on the legs. This does not have to be perfect. For the picture I've seen and the inspo pictures that I've been seeing, the spider looks very messy, so I was not really precise when I was doing this. Also, I'm going in once I'm done curing all of this with the black liner so I can clean up the lines and make it make sense. We're doing 4 legs at the body and then 4 legs at the head. When working with the rhinestone gel, I do find it's easier to cure as you go because sometimes this will smudge, whereas the 3D gel kind of stays in place. Now we're going ahead and we're painting in that black. Clean up any messes you make before you cure it because that will be really hard to get out. And then I'm taking my 15 millimeter liner brush or whatever, I had a brain fart just now, and I'm going ahead and tracing over those lines. If you're using black for your spider, you'll want to cure and do a couple coats, just because if you apply your black too thick and you don't cure it properly, it is going to peel and then it's just going to ruin the whole design. So I'm going ahead and I'm doing thinner coats and I'm doing multiple, curing for 60 seconds in between. So then once you're done adding all the coats and making it your desired opaqueness or color, you can go ahead and grab your top coat and top coat whatever is in 3D. After this, I wanted to add some gems in the center of the spider webs, so I went ahead with my rhinestone gel again and I put that in the center, and then I took some smaller charms and I added those in the center. And then here is the finished look. Let me know what you guys think and comment other ideas you guys think I should try.